everyone, and welcome. I will be doing a few series today. We'll be focusing on the wrist to help you get ready for handstand exercises. I'll be running you through some beginner handstand drills to work your way up towards handstands, as well as I will be giving you some samplers to do to break up your day of sitting with some stretching and strengthening exercises to help counteract lower back pain and the upper back posture. So to begin, in stretching your wrists, you're going to want to get your wrists about shoulder width apart, right underneath the shoulders. And for this first one, you're just going to rock forward a few times. So doing about like 5 to 10 of these is always good. And then afterwards, flipping backwards. And then leaning towards your feet to give yourself a nice stretch in the front of your wrists. Or in this one, you can just hold this one as well. This one feels great to do. Then point your fingers towards each other and lean side to side. And then do a couple of circles. Back and forth, make sure you're evening out both sides. Then flip your fingers away from each other. Rock side to side. This really opens up your wrists. And most of us don't stretch our wrists, even though we use our wrists a lot when we're typing, holding our phones, things like that. And then back to forward. So we're going to go forward and then point slightly out so that your thumb is facing more forward than your fingers are. And then rock back and forth once more. After that, turn your fingers inward, your thumbs facing each other, and then rock back and forth again. If at any time you feel like this is too much, then ease off your wrists. These are very, very small muscles and bones in your hand, so they're easy to overexert. Next, flip your hands so that the back of your hands is on the mat, fingers pointing forward, and just hold this one. And then point them towards each other. You can make little circles here if you would like, if you would like a little bit more intensity. If not, then you can just hold it. And now flip your fingers back and hold. If you want to increase the intensity on this one, then you're going to turn your elbow to point back towards you as much as you can, twisting your forearm. from each other. Another way to increase the intensity is to have your knees further back for less support so that you're more forward. So next, after that, we're going to shake out our wrists. And then bring your hands together like this. And then begin to rock your wrists side to side. This one always feels good. And then reverse. Shake those out again. Bring your hands to prayer pose. And what we're going to do is we're going to push. So what's going to be mostly in contact is the this part of your hands together. Can't think of the words right now. But bringing your hands down, this is going to really stretch this part of your wrists. If you don't want to get on the floor throughout the day and you need a wrist stretch, you could do this. And then return to center. And then you can flip it by putting the backs of your hands together and then bringing it upwards. The tops of your wrists are going to come off a little bit, but as long as your knuckles are making contact, then you're getting a nice stretch along the top side of your wrist. This next one, bring one hand forward and then pushing just the tops of the fingers back. Don't do it too much. And this is one where you can either hold it or you can pump it back and forth. I like to pump it back and forth so that I can increase the intensity if I need to for the next round. And then flip it down and do the same. Really get a nice stretch in that wrist. Warming it up and opening it so that you don't injure yourself when you go for that handstand. So you're going to keep your hands still, your fingers still pointing down towards the floor. And instead of the fingers, you're going to grab at where your palm meets the fingers and push back. That's going to give you more leverage, and it's going to stretch all the way across the wrist instead of just the left side or the right side, depending on if you're using your left hand. Shake your wrists out at any time when you need to. And then you're going to have the back of your fist or back of your hand pointing forward, and then just press on it a little bit inward. Don't do it too much. This one is very easy to overexert. And then even it out on the other side. First pulling the fingers in a few times. Then flipping the hand down. And then pushing into where the palm meets the knuckles. Flipping fingers down, back of the hand out. And next, you're going to try to keep your arm level while doing this, at least your forearm. So what you're going to do is, with your palm facing up, you're going to grab towards the thumb, and you're just going to gently give it a twist, let go, and then with the palm facing down, grabbing towards the thumb, and stretching the other side. Do that a few times. Remember to be easy on your body, especially with the smaller joints and muscles. Switch to the other side. Shake out your wrists. Next, if you're seated, set your hand palm face up, rest your forearm on your leg, and what you're going to do is spread out your fingers as wide as you can, and then start to curl in, keeping that tension and pressure as you ball up into a fist. And then once you've gotten to the fist, you're going to pull your hand up and towards your bicep, but don't do it too much. It's very easy to cramp your hand. And then reverse it, slowly releasing that tension, and then shake out your hand. Other side, keeping that tension in your hand, curling your fingers slowly into a fist, and then keeping that fist tight as you pull your wrist towards your bicep, and then release, shake out your hand. This is great if you do piano as well. Now these next couple of wrist exercises are a little bit more advanced, so I would take these slowly. If you feel like you can't do them, then don't. They're not necessary, there's just a little added. So you're going to put the backs of your hands on the mat, and then you're going to curl your hands into a fist one at a time, and then back down. Doing that continually. If this is too easy for you and you wanted more pressure, then you could get into a push-up position and do this. I find that a little intense, so I won't do that. But just doing this a few times strengthens your wrists so that they can handle more usage. Next, after that one, you're going to just make fists. Put the tops of your knuckles on the mat, and then you're going to roll forward towards your knuckle or towards your thumbs, and then backwards. This is another one where if you wanted to increase the intensity, you can get into a push-up position and do this. But this really rolls and stretches and strengthens the wrists all at the same time. Do this a few times. And then you're good. So that's some wrist stretches that you can do to help counteract all the typing, but also if you're working on handstands, then it's great to help prevent injury in your wrists. So stay tuned for those handstand exercises.